Amy in the house and Brian and a few others. So appreciate the love. We'd also love to know what your name is. So if you can hit the three dots to the right of your Zoom and give us a name, that would be amazing. Also, we need cameras on, Brian and Amy, or I'm going to throw you out of this meeting. I need to see faces because we do this live. So I'd like to do that. Look, I've had a crazy day. We actually had to postpone this a bit because I was looking at deals. That's what I was doing. I met with three different counterparties that are all doing deals, and I'm trying to find the best next project for us. Right now, inside the property circle, we're closing out a deal for about $500,000, and the returns look incredible. Between you and me and nobody else, it looks like we're bagging 60% on this deal. And I love that. I mean, these are really, really ridiculous returns. And what I really want to do, and I'm starting to formulate this plan that I've been here in Dubai now for a couple months, is what I want is I want to take the members of my circle and I want to compound these returns over 3, 4, 5 years. And that's when things get interesting. Because when you take something like a 40, 50, 60% return and you compound it, as in you reinvest those profits over and over again, the numbers get crazy. And I actually asked ChatGPT today, what happens when you make a 50% return, which is less than we're making on this first deal, and you compound that over 5 years, how much do you make? And it came out with a number that might surprise you. It's 760% return. So you make a 7x on your money. So if you start with $100,000, you end up with $750,000. And that's the power of compounding, and that's the power of a very high rate of return. And I met with a bunch of people today, and I met with a big group here that's done a bunch of projects. And I said to them, I said, look, they're like, we're going to try to do $1 billion in this niche, which is the niche we're in, over the next 3 or 4 years. And I said, do you plan on doing any other property develops? And they said, no. Why would we do that? This is clearly the most profitable niche, the most risk-free niche, and the turnaround times are 14 to 16 months. It's like, why would you look anywhere else? And so there's a few pieces of smart money here in this town that have realized this is the way forward. Now, let's be honest, this market didn't exist 20 years ago because what we do is luxury transformation projects. So 20 years ago, everything was brand new, right? You're in a very strange market in Dubai because everything is so new. And what happens now is that now you get things that are 15 years old. And for the first time ever, you're getting very wealthy people that want to come here and buy something to live in. They don't want to flip the properties and just make money on the bull run. They want to bring their family here and bring their wife and kids. And these people know luxury, and they're not going to settle for just some wannabe build. It has to be something they're used to experiencing in Mumbai or Miami or Monaco. When they pay 25, 30, 40, $50 million for a house, they can't see some, fake marble, right? Or some terrible appliances in the kitchen. I'm starting to become an aficionado of all these brands. And so they're willing to pay a premium so it's done for them when they get here. They don't have to refurb that takes 6 weeks. They don't have to tell their wife or husband there's going to be dust in the property. Literally, it's called a turnkey solution where you walk in the property and everything is done. Does that make sense, Steve? What we're doing here? And again, I'll be honest, I didn't even know this market existed 3, 4 months ago, right? But now I'm understanding it's extremely profitable. Only a small group of people are doing with it, and we're partnering up with the best in the business. So we're really at a special place at a special time. Don't get me wrong, putting your money in the right properties here still might get you 20% returns a year, 15%. But I want more. I want our investors to really create generational wealth over the next 5 years here, and that's what we're going to do. So let me jump into this presentation. I got a bunch of news headlines here that if you're not already convinced, will convince you. But I'm actually here on the ground. I'm at these properties, and we're actually filming a reality show of me coming to Dubai. And actually, at the end of the 4th episode, I'm actually going to sign our first deal. And it's called Dubai Real. And so what I'm doing is I'm getting all the information on the ground, and I'm actually literally visiting these properties, and we're finally going to close the deal at the end, which is the deal we're actually closing for this group. So look, I mean, we've been doing media for 15 years. When you mix media and finance, things get very, very, very special, and things happen that you would never really have thought were going to happen. And that's kind of what we're doing here. And we're giving people like you, London Reelers, the opportunity to really get involved. And that's what's kind of cool about it. We're going to be dropping our first episode, I think, in probably about 2 weeks is the plan. And I'll see if I can play you a little bit of a trailer later because it's kind of cool what we're up to. So let me jump into this presentation. and talk about what we're seeing in the markets. It's pretty interesting, and some of the headlines will probably blow your mind as to what's happening here. So let me get this thing up. Just thumbs up if you can see this really happy guy in Dubai that's about to make a bunch of people a lot of money. Yep. And that's what I love doing. We've done this before for the past 5 years in other markets, and we're about to do it in property. So look, the big headline is that Dubai's next luxury property wealth engine, investors are flocking to this Palm Jebel Ali, which is a brand new Palm, and they're paying $5 million plus for these homes. And what really got my attention is that there's so much money coming into this area, much more than was here 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And they're paying a lot of money for these properties. And I'll show you exactly how we're making 40 to 90% returns for our investors. Folks, here's the newsline, the headline that came out today. $5 million plus home sales surge with this brand new development. Now, I'm going to show you a slide in a bit that says that over 500 homes worth over $10 million were sold last year. That only happens in one city in the world. That's in Dubai. And so if you think that this competes with LA or New York or Miami, it doesn't. Miami is not selling over 500 homes at $10 million plus. Maybe they'll sell 100 or 200, but not the scale here because money is moving here. Did you realize that 1,000 families a week are moving to Dubai? 1,000 families a week, and they all need homes. This is another headline. $1.1 trillion of investments is going to be made right here in this region over this ultra luxury market called the wellness space. So right now, what we've seen in these builds is that not only are they the highest spec, they also promote, low electromagnetic fields, things that are friendly for the environment, low emissions, interiors, all these things. And it's a huge market we're going to be cashing in on as well. 10x in 5 years. That's how quickly this market has grown. So again, if you're asking about compounding, 10x in 5 years, and that's not even investing in the kind of properties that we're seeing. And of course, this is that headline that I showed you. We hit a landmark high here in Dubai last year, 500 sales of homes over $10 million. That is massively significant, and it's just going to go up from here. Of course, here is an example of one of the deals that we're doing. Somebody bought a luxury villa in the Palm Jumeirah for $3 million, and they sold it 13 months later for $6.5 million. This is an article I just happened to come across in Arabian Business. And so it's funny, Steve, I get these people that DM me, and they're like, Brian, how dare you? You worked on Wall Street. You know it's impossible to make 40% returns a year. I'm like, really? Okay. Did you read this article? Right? This isn't even anybody I know. This is an article I got when I typed in Google News luxury property Dubai, and this came up. And so it's not just me that's learning this. There's a lot of people doing this here, and the returns are real. It's in a currency that's pegged to the dollar in a region that's been growing and growing and growing for the past 25 years. Folks, this is me. Over the past couple of weeks, I have been to some very impressive and very expensive homes. That's kind of weird going to an expensive home, It's very weird. I've been in 50 million pound homes, 40 million, 30 million, 20 million pound homes. And it's definitely interesting being in there. And you start to also see the difference between regular luxury and ultra luxury and then extreme luxury. And it's the little details, and you start to pick up on them. And one thing's for sure that, if the properties don't return what I hope they will, I think I've got a new career as a house model. What do you think, Steve? Think I can make a little extra money on the side? I'm just one of those guys that, who is that guy sitting in the house? So yeah, I'm keeping this in mind. I'm getting an agent just in case, but I think we're going to do just fine in these properties. Folks, before we get started, just want to say this video is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you this free video at the end. I'll give you a link, and it's going to show you how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. So who is Brian Rose? Well, a lot of you probably don't know that I started my career on Wall Street in 1993. I worked for a company called Bankers Trust, and I spent the first 15 years of my career in finance, and I learned how real capital flows. And this is something I learned that a lot of people don't know, and I don't really talk about much. The people that made the most money when I worked on Wall Street, I worked in Chicago, I worked in London, I worked in Tokyo for the biggest banks and brokerage firms in the world. It's not always the rich people. It's not always the people from the fancy schools. It's people with access to deal flow. And that's what I'm giving you. Access to something you're never going to see anywhere else. And that's how the real money is made, right? Who got in on that IPO of Facebook? Who was the early investor on Bitcoin? That's what we're doing here. We're giving you access into a part of the market that nobody in Dubai know exists. And most people in Dubai don't even know this market exists as far as luxury transformations. Of course, after Wall Street, I spent the next 15 years becoming a YouTuber, as I tell my kids. And I interviewed over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet, people you've probably watched me talk to before on the show, and also a lot of people in real estate. People like Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, who's become a good friend, Grant Cardone, Dan Pena, all these people that made billions and billions of dollars through investing, and they were incredible mentors to have. And then, of course, for the last 5 years, I've been coming to Dubai and I've studied it up close. I came here because we've invested over $25 million into the blockchain industry over the past 5 years in a very similar model to what we're doing in the property circle. So we actually have a ton of experience doing this. And of course, now we're a broadcaster with 1 billion views and 5 million followers. I just got out of someone's office. We had a 40-minute meeting and it went to 2 hours and 40 minutes because they're like, Brian, we want you. We want you here. You're the perfect guy for our brand. And I'm like, look, I already got my own company here. They're like, Brian, please, like, we need someone like you with an American audience and a UK audience who can tell the world what we're doing here, because we've got the projects, we're making big money, but nobody knows about it. And I'm continually reminded that we're in the perfect place at the perfect time. Folks, these are some of the people that have mentored me over the years. Grant Cardone now has over $5 billion of real estate and assets under management. Of course, this is Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Anybody read that book, or anybody know Robert here? He's a legend. I love Robert. He still texts me all the time at 82 years old. He's pretty sharp. And again, he only invests in real things: real estate, gold, Bitcoin. That's all Robert invests in. He doesn't trust Wall Street, neither do I. He doesn't buy stocks and ETFs, and it's made him a lot of money. This is a guy named Jim Rickards. He wrote a book called Currency Wars, and he's highly respected on Wall Street. He worked as chief legal officer for a huge fund called Long-Term Capital Management back in the day. And he also runs war games every year with the Naval Institute and the CIA, but they're financial war games, and he basically simulates attacks on U.S. infrastructure. Jim taught me a lot about how to make money. And of course, a lot of you know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. Raise your hand if you've watched Dan before on my channel. He's got a castle in Scotland. He swears a lot. And he taught me a lot about how to make money and how to pull the trigger and how to go into your fear. You know, most people are just too scared. They sit on the sideline their whole life and sit on their hands. And then at the end, they wonder, why they didn't get where they wanted to go. You really have to pull the trigger. And that's what Dan taught me. Here I am at his castle, accepting an award to be on his Hall of Fame alongside all these other billionaires. And you might want to take a picture of this or a screenshot, because Steve, I think this is the only known picture of Dan with a smile. And I heard that with his team, he's trying to get this deleted from the internet, just so, there's no proof. But I don't know what happened with them that day. Who knows? Maybe it is AI. Folks, so why Dubai? Well, it's the #1 destination for global wealth migration. And I'm going to show you a slide next that's going to blow your mind. It's where everyone is moving, and I've got proof. #2, there's a severe shortage of turnkey luxury supply. What does that mean? Yeah, you turn the key, you walk in, and Darius, I'm talking about you get there and the linens are on the bed. The cutlery is in the kitchen. The concierge is already working on the work visa for your gardener and your chauffeur. Your supercars are in the basement, the air-conditioned garage, and your Birkin bags for the ladies are already in the closet. I'm talking about turnkey. Now, I know how hard it is to get your family to try to move to a place like Dubai. Now, if you tell them it's going to take 12 months and a bunch of dust and your place is going to be a building site, trust me, they ain't coming. It's hard enough to get people to move somewhere they're not familiar with. And so people are willing to pay a premium to get this, and that's how we're making money. Also, let's be honest, labor is cheap here. It's really cheap. And so we can transform these things fast and inexpensively, and that means those returns are ours. Let's face it, Dubai is a market built for high-performance returns. Why? There is zero personal gains tax, right? Raise your hand if you have zero personal gains tax here, at least legally if you do. For some of you, illegally, no, keep your hand down, right? But I mean, it just doesn't exist really in this world. And no capital gains tax, right? And so this is just a place that's built for high performance returns. There's rapid economic growth. The city is growing 5% a year, not from illegal immigrants, right? From high net worth individuals that are moving here to bring their businesses and their money. And of course, it's full of cash-rich international buyers, and that's what we want. Folks, here's that chart I told you about. 142,000 millionaires relocated in 2025. Where did the majority of them come? All right. Or where was the country with the most that arrived? Guess what? UAE, 9.8 thousand. Go all the way to the bottom of that chart, and what do you see? My former home country of the United Kingdom. 16,500 millionaires, and Lord knows how many billionaires left that country probably for good. And this is, in a nutshell, how we're going to make 60, 70, 80% returns over the next 5 years, right? People are moving here. There actually is a lack of ultra luxury property. You'd be surprised. You think Dubai is all about the bling, but it's not. They don't have that super high end. For that, you need taste, you need style, you need scarcity, and that's what we're building. So what is a luxury transformation? It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. Think of a villa that's 15 years old. You go in there, and maybe we wouldn't notice, but the ultra rich, it's a little bit tired. We take it, we strip it down. We don't do structural changes, more cosmetic, and we sell it 14 months later for a premium. That's what we're doing. It's designed to match exactly what global buyers want. They want something extremely ultra luxury. And this strategy unlocks significant value. Why? Quick turnaround time. I can't stress this enough. If you want to buy off-plan luxury here, which is a luxury building that's being built in the next few years, you don't know how long you're going to have to wait. Might be 3 years, might be 5 years, might be 7 years. Doesn't really help on a return on investment when it comes to an annual return. The projects we're talking about, we're in and out in 14 to 16 months. So even if the market does move, we don't care. We don't care. Sometimes these things are sold even before we start building them because somebody wants that specific property once it's done. And that's why we're getting these high performance returns. And again, very few people know about this, and I'd like to keep it that way. Folks, 40, 60%, 49% returns is something I've never seen. And again, I've worked in all the major financial centers. I've traded stocks, bonds, equities, commodities, you name it. And I've never seen anything like this before. And that's why we've gone all in on this. That's why I've moved here. And that's why I'm on the ground to go ahead and monitor all of our investors' money. And I wanted to show you just a teaser of our brand new reality show called Dubai Real. This is me. And this is me coming here to Dubai and getting all the details on exactly how we're going to invest our money. Here it is. If you want to know where the world is going, watch where the people are moving. And right now, they're moving to Dubai. This city isn't just growing, it's accelerating. You can feel it. The momentum, the ambition, the speed. Every day, the city reinvents itself. While the West feels stuck in managed decline, Dubai is busy building the future. This city has positioned itself as one of the most dynamic property markets in the world, built on infrastructure, leadership, and a long-term vision that's actually being executed. If you want exposure to this promising future, real estate is the clearest, most liquid way to express that conviction. And when markets move, luxury real estate moves first. But this is where things get complicated, because this is a fast market, and not everything is what it appears to be. For every genuine opportunity, there's a shortcut. For every fortune, there's a fugazi. That's why I'm here, on the ground, asking the hard questions, looking for asymmetric returns, doing the work most people never see. My job is simple: to multiply our money, protect our investors, and only position our capital where the upside is real. Because one thing is certain, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And if we manage our risk intelligently, there is a lot of money to be made here. This is Dubai Real. All right, what do we think? We feeling that? Are you ready to subscribe to Paramount Plus just to watch that? No, it's pretty cool, and it's 4 parts of a series, and it actually chronicles our first deal that we closed here. So we're literally closing the deal on the 4th part. We're going to talk to the investors. We're going to talk to the builders. We're going to talk to the legal people about the SPV. I'm really excited about it. And it'll also show you exactly what we're doing here and maybe even help answer some questions, that people have. So yeah, it's super exciting stuff that should be dropping first episode probably in the next 10 days. Folks, here's a case study of the developer we're working with right now, and this will give you a little bit of an idea of what we're doing. Here we are on the Palm Jumeirah. This is the fake islands that Dubai is famous for. They made about 20 years ago by putting sand, in this kind of a low water table coastal area. Well, what happened? Well, they went and acquired one of these old villas, about 15 years old, and they spent $7.1 million. They then got the permits and priced out the renovation costs, which is going to be another 6.3 million. So total they spent on the project was 13.4. 13 months later, 12 months later, they sold that property for $25.9 million. They did a 93.8% return. This is exactly what we're doing, right? It's actually quite simple. Doesn't mean it's easy, but it's simple, right? You have to have people on the ground that have done this before, right? You don't want people like me coming in and trying to hire contractors. That's a silly idea. You need people with a track record of doing this, but once they do it, you partner with them and you can really achieve these returns. Folks, here's some more of these news. Obviously, $5 million is where these sales are going now in this brand new version of the Palm. We can see that now a total of 2,489 homes valued at more than that $5 million changed hands in the year. That's a massive amount. And so there's just more and more people buying here and more money coming here. Of course, we know 1.1 trillion is going in to this luxury wellness market. And we know that last year, $3.15 billion of luxury resales happened, and it's cash buyers that dominate these homes. Why is that important? Cash buyers means families are moving here to live in these homes. They don't want to flip them, and they need a high spec to do it. Folks, we know that Dubai now outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. People prefer this city over the others, and I know that's true coming from London. And here's an interesting stat. We know that there were 500 sales of properties worth more than 10 million last year, but did you know there were 70 properties sold worth more than 25 million? And this is the sector that we're targeting. We know that Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, and Lamborghini have now all branded buildings that are being sold here. And the penthouse of the Bugatti building just sold for $150 million, a record in the Middle East. And of course, we know that UAE luxury property is set for a sustained boom. I've never seen so many people excited here. And like I said, the next 5 years are going to be epic for us. Folks, let me talk about the latest deal. It's actually inland in a very green area with a lake and a river. I know, in Dubai, in the middle of the desert, but they have these here. We projected a 40 to 60% return, but we've just got news that it's probably going to be more like 60. It's a premium transformation project, perfect timing, filling quickly, a high demand location. And if you talk to Mark in the next, say, 24 hours, I can still get you in on this deal. Folks, here's the math I was talking about. If you take a 50% return and you compound that for 5 years, you reinvest those profits, you're going to be making a 759% return, or over 7x on your money. And so there is real money to be made here. And this is exactly what I have planned for all the members of our circle. Folks, those kind of returns are incredible. I've never seen such a high return for such a low risk profile. At the end of the day, we own an underlying piece of property, right? We own an asset. This isn't like investing in a tech stock or buying Bitcoin. We're owning something that's a physical reality. And I've never seen the upside there for something like this. So how does London Real get access to these deals? I'm sure maybe you were thinking that, Steve, or maybe you were, Darius. It's a great question, because they're not giving them to me because of my fancy suits and my pretty smile, right? They're giving it to us because they want our media platform and exposure. They want these deals to go global. And so they want to be in my reality show. They want me to post these things on Instagram. And that's the only reason I'm able to offer these deals to you, because there's plenty of cash in Dubai. Trust me, right? There's plenty of people they can give these deals to, billionaires that they want to start good relationships with. But for us, we use our London Real platform, and I get you access to deals that you wouldn't even know were actually happening. And so I believe that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We spent 15 years building this platform, building relationships with people like you. Now is the opportunity, and now is when we're going to cash in on it and start making London Realers just, real wealth. And that's what I'm here to do. Folks, a lot of you probably felt like Drake on the top, and you've tried to invest in property on your own. Maybe you bought a couple of houses thinking that you're going to flip them at great prices. And maybe you found yourself on a Sunday cleaning toilets or dealing with a crazy tenant. I know for sure I don't want to do that. All right. I don't want anything to do with that. I want it done in an SPV. I don't even want to see the property if I don't have to. And that's what we've created here. And so you can be Happy Drake on the bottom. You can invest with us, with London Real, inside of an SPV and just get the returns with none of the hassle. And it's called the Luxury Property Investment Circle. This is the hottest product we've ever made. In the last few months, we've had more inquiries, more members join than we've ever sold in the history of London Real, because this offer sells itself. It's a no-brainer. Everybody knows there's something special happening in Dubai. Everybody knows they can invest as little as $10,000. And everybody knows they're never going to see 40 to 90% returns anywhere else. Let me ask you a question, Steve or Darius or Brian. What did you make on your money last year? In your savings account, maybe you made 3%. After inflation, you lost money. If you bought the S&P 500, and I know you didn't, you made 15%. After inflation, what did you make? 11? Congratulations. Nobody is making 40% returns on anything, right? And our deal right now is making 60. And so I know no one sees this, right? And that's why I think this is incredible. Now, of course, with any investment, there is risk. Otherwise, there is no return. But you got a currency pegged to the dollar. You got a place that's growing that more people are going to, and we're out in 14 months. I don't care what happens in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. It doesn't have anything to do with this. It's all about the execution and timing and opportunity. And so if this sounds interesting, go to londonreal.tv/Dubai. Maybe some of you already have. Take 20, 30 seconds and apply. It's simple. First name, last name, rough idea what you want to invest, and give us 10 or 20 words. When you submit that, I go and see it. My team sees it, and we start researching you to find out, are you worthy of being in our group? How long have you been a London Realer? How long have you been to my website? How many shows have you watched? How many of my movies have you watched? Did you come to my live events? Did you buy my courses? Did you show me any love, right? That gets you in quicker, all right? And we want to make sure it's full of members that we believe in and we like. I'm too old to deal with any nonsense at this point in my life, right? I don't need any problems, right? And so we just want people here that want to come in and make a boatload of money and just, have it done for them. And so if we accept you, you're one of those people. By the way, book a call when you apply, because once you're accepted, we're going to have you on a video call in order to walk you through all the details. Folks, a lot of you know I ran to be mayor of London. Look, I love London. I spent the last 25 years of my life there. My kids were born there, and I was planning to be buried there. But that all changed in the last few years because London is the past. It's a decaying city and a decaying country. Dubai is the future, and I love it here, and that's what I'm doing now. And so we've moved our studio here to Dubai. I call it London Real in Dubai, and I've been talking to all the biggest names, the crypto billionaires, and all the people that also know a lot about luxury and luxury property. Folks, right now we're investing $3 million into 6 deals this quarter. And the question is are you going to get involved, or are you going to watch this opportunity pass you by like many have in the past? And it's all because of London Real Ventures. This is the world's first media-powered investment firm. This has never been done in human history, where someone's taken a channel like London Real with 1 billion views, 5 million subscribers, and put it together with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. When you do that, magic happens, and magic looks like our current portfolio of blockchain and artificial intelligence companies that we've invested in over the past 4 years. A lot of these companies are now worth $1, $2, $3 billion since we invested. This is one of them called Skillful AI, was up 20x at the launch. We made a $4 million profit for our members. This is a company called Shrapnel, was up 20x in 20 days and made my members a $5 million profit. This is the Mochaverse. It's up 20x on the launch. It's a $7 billion company called Animoca Brands. This is their chairman, Yatsu. And this thing is just continuing to make us more money. This is one of our big wins called Story Protocol. It was up 42x. One of our members named Jose from Mexico City, who actually just joined the property circle, he put in $50,000 on this deal and he walked away with a $2 million profit on one deal. And we distributed $21 million of profits to my members. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in, run by this guy, Dan Tapiero. He's a genius. He's already made us 4 to 8x on that fund. And we're investing another $1 million into his next $1 billion fund as well. Again, the only way we're getting access to these deals is because of London Real and our media platform. We've now invested over $25 million into over 100 deals. Folks, we've been doing this for over 5 years. We know what we're doing. We know how to create SPVs, and we know how to make a lot of money. This is me accepting an award as the best venture capitalist of the year. I took this at Singapore. And yes, Steve, I have a pink suit. If anyone's got a problem with that, you can come look me up. But it is true. This is me at the Family Office Investment Summit. I was getting a Lifetime Achievement Award for our returns and our media. And of course, now everybody in Dubai knows me because I'm the old guy that had his first fight at the age of 54. And I had to, beat these punk kids there. They're less than half my age, Steve. The first kid they gave me was 27. The next kid was 19. And the next thing they're going to give me a 4-year-old, I think, at that point. But I don't mind lacing up those gloves, and we got to teach those kids some manners. Folks, how can you maximize your investment returns? It's simple. It's called diversification. And Ray Dalio taught us that. He calls it the holy grail of investment. What does that mean? Well, this is a typical portfolio of one of the members of our property circle. I would never tell you to put 100% of your money in real estate or crypto or stocks or bonds or cash. A balanced portfolio mathematically makes you more money. And so if you've got money in real estate right now, great, move it to Dubai real estate. If you don't have money in real estate, great, put a percentage of your portfolio into Dubai real estate. Manage your risk intelligently, and it will take care of you over time. Folks, I think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. Does anybody like to live their life like that? I could be in London right now complaining about the Labour government and my taxes, or I could be here on the grounds making a lot of money for people who want a different future. And the choice is yours. You can sit there and complain about your returns or the stock market or your country, or you can do something about it. Vote with your feet, vote with your wallet, and put your money into something that's going to get you the returns that you need and you deserve. Folks, this is Ben Bhandari. He is the top real estate broker in Dubai, which says a lot because there's a lot of brokers here. He's also the star of $1 Million Listing, which is the most popular reality TV property show here in the Gulf region. I had him on my show recently, and we talked about what makes this place special. And here he is as season 2 of $1 Million Listing UAE comes off. This guy's famous. He's really well known because, like I said, he's got this reality show that's kicking off. And I had Ben on the show, and I said to him, I said, Ben, why'd you buy? Now, Ben moved here from Toronto 20 years ago, right? And he really didn't know what this would turn into. He actually wrote out the 2008 financial crisis, which was tough in the United States. And it was also pretty tough here as well. And I said to him, why do you buy? And this is what he told me.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he's just created a marketing machine. And they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. We have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody's looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
Boom, he sounds like a broken record a little bit, right? Safety, security, stability. It really is a place. Like you cannot say there is safety, security, and stability in most cities in the world. Can you say that about London? No, you can't. Say that about New York? No, you can't. Berlin? No. Paris? No. Dubai? Yes. Takeaways from Ben: Dubai has safety and security. Over 1,000 families moving here a week. Leadership attracts investment. The rulers here have a 100-year plan, right? Does Keir Starmer have a 100-year plan? He's probably got a 4-hour plan until he resigns, right? The truth is Western politicians have short life cycles, right, Steve? I mean, look, I ran to be mayor of London, right? And I realized that if I got elected, I would have 4 years to put my policies in, and that anything we're doing would not happen in 4 years. So I remember saying to my team, Steve, I said, are we all comfortable with the fact that anything we do that's positive is going to be taken credit by someone else, the next mayor? And we were all happy with that. But the problem is most politicians, they can't afford to have a long-term vision. So they focus on their stock portfolios in America. And it just doesn't work. You need someone with a long-term vision, and they have it here. Again, zero personal taxes. That'll blow your mind. It's a new playground for the wealthy and for everyone else. This is a place to come if you want to make your life better, period. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? Just like in any other place, folks, it's about deal flow, and more deal flow. Because trust me, you can lose money. here in real estate in Dubai. There's a bunch of people here that'll take your money and you'll never see it again. So we have to be very careful about what we do, a massive amount of due diligence, and follow these projects very closely. And I've been coming here for the past 5 years, meeting with the crypto bros, members of government, venture capitalists, influencers. I've been on stage interviewing people, premiering our films here, and hanging out with guys like CZ here, worth over $100 billion. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. I am out there sourcing you deals that can bring you 60, 70, 80, 90%. And a lot of you know I've got a little goal that I set for myself to bring the first 100% return deal to this property circle in the next 24 months. I want to double your money on a deal. I just want to do it just to do it. So that's my goal. Again, folks, look at the compounding. If you really compound this, you can make more money than you can in any other sector. And this is our investor portal. So once you join and get onboarded, you'll go right into our portal. You'll see the current deals we have. You'll click in, you'll ask for the allocations, then we'll follow it up, close the deal, wire the money, and boom, it's all in an SPV. It's really amazing how we've set this up. And again, that's why you need to understand the financial tools. What's an SPV? An SPV is a special purpose vehicle. And what it does is it's a company set up specifically for that property refurbishment. It only does one thing, and when the thing's done, it's over, right? It actually has its own standalone legal entity. So owners like you directly own the asset while you isolate all the other risks from your personal wealth. It's a ring-fence structure, provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and easier for financing and partnerships. This is what we use. This is our platform for doing KYC, onboarding you, and setting up the SPV. And how do you do it, folks? How do you create generational wealth? You have to pull the trigger. You have to stop sitting on the sideline, watching the world go by, right? I can't force you to make money. I can't shove a bunch of money in your bank account. Ultimately, you have to pull the trigger. Otherwise, good luck making more than 10% this year as you hold your stock portfolio, which might be down. Inflation eats up everything else you have. Your bank lies to you and pays you pennies on the dollar. I mean, it's just terrible. The options you have in the West are shocking. This is a no-brainer. Timing matters. If you wait, you're going to miss this. Once our SPVs are filled, they can't expand, period. Early investors are getting priority. The deals are closing very, very fast. And once allocations are gone, they're gone. So you've got to move fast if you want to be in this. This is for serious investors only. I'm not looking for people who want to play around, who want to come for a community or education. I want people that understand this opportunity, that want me to help them make as much money as possible. I need people that want real assets, not speculation. You want transparency. You want an SPV ring-fence structure, and you want access to real opportunities. I am here on the ground because that's the only way I can make sure that we're going to get incredible returns on our money. Best thing to do is apply now. You're going to join a private membership. You're going to get a lifetime of premium opportunities. You get unlimited access to deals. It's a chance to build generational wealth, and you can start for as little as $10,000. It's a no-brainer. In our first deal, we got people putting in 10K, 25K, 50K, 100K. Up to you what you want to do, right? But, you know, try it and see how one deal goes, right? See how two deals go, and then, you know, go in more if you want to. That's what I'm telling people to do. Best thing to do is apply now. Go to learnreal.tv/Dubai. It takes 20 seconds. Book a call at the same time and get on with one of our team and just talk this through. This is the most powerful money-making opportunity I have ever seen. And I've seen it all, right? I've been investing for over 30 years. I've never seen something with such a high return and such a low risk profile. And of course, there's risk. There's risk in anything they do. There's risk when you go walk your doggy in the morning, all right? But I've never seen something with such a high return for such a low risk profile. Never. Folks, here's the video I promised. Go to londonreal.tv/replay, and you get the video on how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. And that's it, folks. I'd love to answer any questions. Was that helpful? Steve, was that helpful? Amy and Brian and Darius? You know, I tried to keep this as simple as possible. When you look at that landing page, it's just like, it's simple. It's like, you know, I could have said $100,000 minimum investment. I could have said it was an annual membership. I could have blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, let's make it to where when people see it, they're like, yes, yes, I'm in. So we made it as little as possible, 10,000. Lifetime membership. You're getting access to the deals. I'm here on the ground. We can literally get you in the current deal in the next 24 hours. I'm trying to make this as no-brainer as possible because I think this is going to make a lot of people very wealthy. And so at this point, you know, it's up to you, really. I mean, if this doesn't convince you, like, I don't know what will. You probably better just keep it moving, honestly, because if this doesn't make sense to you, I probably don't want you in the group. Because for me, it's just, I don't know, it's such a no-brainer for me. And again, start small and just see how it goes. Test me out on a first deal. Give us 10 grand. Say, okay, Brian, show me. I want to see $5,000, $6,000 in my bank account next year. Great, let's do it. And if that works, you're like, okay, here's a little bit more. Do whatever you want to do. But I think as you start to see these deals and you start to watch what's going on here, you're going to realize, this is an incredible opportunity. And again, I've had a lot of opportunities to do this with London Real over the last 5-10 years. And I haven't, because they haven't been good enough, quite frankly. And this is something I realized was important enough for me to drop everything, move here, and do it. And that's what we're doing here. So I think that's it, folks. If you have any questions, put them in the chat or send them to Mark and he can give them to me there. Or send me back a message. I got a couple chats with going on with some of you as well. Cool. Looks like Darius is moving here, which is great. Yeah, Darius, whether you're here or not, this is an incredible opportunity. And even if you're here, you won't even know this is happening because this is a very well-kept secret. What'll happen is the brokers will try to sell you off-plan luxury. Okay, that's what they do. It's the building in Benghazi, run by Mercedes-Benz, that'll be built in 3 years, and you can have one of 10,000 units, right? Good luck with that. Now, you might make 20% over 3 or 4 or 5 years. Great. Enjoy. But it's not where the big money is. And trust me, luxury is not buying in those areas. Luxury is buying in these private communities. The deal we're closing now is in a beautiful place called Al Barari. There's only 170 villas in that community. It's been a known place here for 20 years. It's got greenery you can't even believe. It's got lakes. It's got celebrities, but on a very quiet level. It's got smart money, big money, who like really beautiful, a quiet place to live. It's not mass produced. And the villas are like the most stunning things I've ever seen. That picture you saw me in the front where I'm on the green, I sent that to my son. He's like, is this AI, Dad? I'm like, it's not AI. I was there. That house, I mean, the ceilings are like 3-story high ceilings when you walk in. I mean, it's Al Barari. That's the place. And the place we're building is going to be bigger than that. So, we really have something special here. We have a niche. But again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Ultimately, the ball's in your court. But I guarantee you, this is a simple decision. It's a no-brainer decision. And once you're in, I think it'll be an incredible experience for you. Last thing, we have an investor day on April 27th. So if you're part of the group, come see me in Dubai. We'll go look at the properties. We'll hang out. It'll be amazing. And I think that's it, folks. Yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, this current deal is closing. And we're seeing a lot of interest from around the world. If we're slow to reply to you, it's because there's a lot of people joining right now and we're just super busy. I think that's it. Best way to take next steps is get that call book with Mark or one of our team, and let's get you onboarded and get you to the next step. And I think that's it. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate you, and I hope we see you on the inside. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.